Well, guys, here is a very special quick video, well, not really a quick video, that I thought of earlier today. As I'm still doing the videos wrapping up my Madden 09 series, I actually wanted to do this video for future watching maybe, where I am going to go through each single game of the 2008 season that none of y'all got to see, and maybe even talk a little bit of the 2009 season. Or maybe I'll do some other shit later on when it gets that past 2008. But I wanted to go for each of the 2008 games so I can actually tell y'all who won it and how it went, if I remember how insane it was. Because, yeah, I actually remember the stuff pretty much like a steel trap. It's absolutely insane. So anyways, this was week 1 of 2008. Like I said in my video talking about how the series began. Redskins at Giants, which was the kickoff game. Like I said, I made the Giants win by making the Redskins not score as much, but in the end, the Giants won. It was like 50-something, like 30-something. Then, of course, the Bengals at Ravens, which the Bengals won because it was 20-17 because I could not get the Ravens to score points no matter how much I rigged it. Then Jets at Dolphins. The Dolphins won this one on, like, the last play of the game because it was 14-14, and the Jets punted it away to like go into overtime. No. The Dolphins punted away to the Jets to go into overtime, but for some reason, the Jet receiver did not pick up the ball, and the Dolphins recovered it in the end zone and was counted as a touchdown. So the Dolphins won because of that. I don't know if it was maybe the Jet receiver did touch and I just didn't notice it, or maybe it was how the game acts. If you don't get a kickoff return and not touch it, then the Dolphins got it for a touchdown. Because normally, when you punt a ball away, if the if the team that kicked it off touched it at the end, the ball's dead, not supposed to be for a touchdown, unless the team that's getting the punt back touches the ball. But I don't think that happened, so I don't know how the Dolphins got that touchdown, but they won because of it. Chiefs at Patriots. The Patriots won this in a defensive struggle, like they kind of did in real life. Texans at Steelers. The Steelers won this game. Titans at Jaguars. The Titans won this. Lions at Falcons. Oh my god. This game was an offensive shootout that went to overtime, and the Falcons won it 48-42 on a pick six as Joe Kitna threw a pick six in this game. As this was like one of the several games I told you went very high score, and it took a long time. That's why it went to 4 minutes. Seahawks at Bills. The Seahawks destroyed the Bills in this game 50-17, just like they did in real life, I think, in 2012. Because in reality, it was the reverse. The Bills destroyed the Seahawks, as the Bills just had offensive woes throughout that one. Buccaneers at Saints. The Buccaneers won this one. Rams at Eagles. This was a high-scoring game, too. I think the Eagles won at 38-31. Well, the Eagles did win, but I think that was the score. Panthers at Chargers. The Chargers won this one. Cowboys at Browns. If I remember correctly, the game was reversed from real life, as the Browns crushed the Cowboys 28-10, as the Cowboys in real life beat the Browns 28-10. Cardinals at 49ers. The Cardinals won this, I think it was 49-42. Bears at Colts. The Colts destroyed the Bears. It was like 50-something, like 20-something in their first home opener in the new stadium. Vikings at Packers with Brian Broham, which I'll get to later. Wasn't Aaron Rodgers starting, but Brian Broham instead. And the Vikings won at 49-42. And then the Broncos at the Raiders. The Raiders kind of spanked the Broncos pretty good in this one to win it. Then week 2, the Bengals destroyed the Titans. It was like 35-6 to go in 2-0. The Bills beat the Jaguars. Then the Raiders beat the Chiefs to go to 2-0. The Colts in this game were up 35-14 on the Vikings with like 2 minutes remaining, and the Vikings actually pulled off the comeback to tie it up at 35, and then it was 31-14 actually, and then the Vikings ended up winning it on the last drive. They scored 21 points in 2 minutes. Like I said before in the series, down 21 or whatever with 2 minutes remaining, that still has a chance to win, as the Vikings did here. They pulled off the upset. Packers at Lions, this was an offensive shootout if I remember correctly, but the Packers won it. Giants at Rams, the Giants won this one. Saints at Redskins, the Saints destroyed the Redskins like the Giants did the previous week. The first 2 weeks of the year, the Redskins allowed 50-plus points each game as their defense was terrible and their offense just kept getting overrun. Bears at Panthers, the Panthers won this. Falcons at Buccaneers, this is the game where I started to go to 4-minute quarters and the Buccaneers crushed the Falcons. 49ers at Seahawks, the Seahawks led in this game, but then the 49ers made a massive comeback to tie it up and send it to overtime before the Seahawks won in OT to go to 2-0. The Patriots at Jets as the Patriots won it. Chargers at Broncos, the Broncos won this 21-10 as the Chargers offense couldn't get anything going. Dolphins at Cardinals, the Dolphins crushed the Cardinals, embarrassed them to go to 2-0 after they went 1-15 last year. Ravens at Texans. Now, this game originally was going to be later on in the year because Hurricane Ike, I think it was, hit the Houston area in 2008, so this game was moved to later on in the year, but instead it happened here. And the Texans beat the Ravens. Steelers at Browns. The Steelers won this one, I think, in a defensive struggle, which they did in real life. Wait, no. I think the Steelers won, it was like 28-20, I can't remember, it was like 28-20 something, as they were up big on the Browns. The Browns made a comeback, but it wasn't enough as the Steelers held on to win it. And Eagles at Cowboys. The Cowboys crushed the Eagles in this one. So then the Chiefs at Falcons, which was the first time they got Aaron Rodgers on the team, because, yeah, I traded Aaron Rodgers to the Chiefs in this timeline because of what I mentioned about Brian Broham, which I'll get to later on in a future NFL Theory video. But he didn't start in this game. Instead, the Chiefs starter played, and they beat the Falcons in this one. Raiders at Bills. The Raiders beat the Bills. Bengals at Giants. This game went to overtime, but the Giants held on to win it. Dolphins at Patriots. The battle between the 2-0 teams. Going into halftime, the Dolphins led, I think, 10-0, but then the Patriots exploded to score 28 unanswered points because the Dolphins imploded, and the Dolphins got a mercy touchdown with a failed they got the 2-point conversion, but it wasn't enough as the Patriots won at 28-18. Texans at Titans. The Texans crushed the Titans in this game, embarrassed them. Buccaneers at Bears. The Buccaneers won it. Cardinals at Redskins. The Cardinals won an offensive shootout like the previous game, but it was only 40 points instead of the 50 points that the previous two games were. Panthers at Vikings. The Panthers crushed the Vikings 43-18. Saints at Broncos. The Broncos won this one pretty convincingly. Lions at 49ers. The 49ers won this one. So the Lions, just like in real life, start off 0-3. So Matt Millen, bye-bye. He was gone just like in my head, just like it was in real life. Rams at Seahawks. The Rams crushed the Seahawks to get their first win of the year. Jaguars at Colts. The Colts barely beat the Jaguars in this one to get to 2-1. The Steelers at Eagles. The Eagles pretty convincingly beat the Steelers. And Browns at Ravens. Browns won this one pretty I don't know about convincingly, but they still won it. Cowboys at Packers. The Packers humiliated the Cowboys as the Cowboys struggled all so far. They went to 1-2. And the Jets at Chargers. The Chargers won that one. Browns at Bengals. The Browns won that to get the 3-1 as the Bengals lost 2 in a row. The Texans at Jaguars. After the Texans crushed the Titans last week, the Jaguars crushed them to get their first win of the year. Broncos at Chiefs. The Chiefs crushed the Broncos in this one to get the 2-2. Falcons at Panthers. The Panthers won it. Cardinals at Jets. The Cardinals won it. 49ers at Saints. The 49ers actually won to go to 2-2, I think, as the Saints could not stop dropping games early on. Packers at Buccaneers. The Packers. Oh, I remember what happened in this game. I played it, and the Buccaneers were winning, but then I didn't know about save states yet at the time, and the game froze, so I had to restart all over again, and I didn't feel like dealing with it, so I let the game simulate to force the Buccaneers to win, and the Buccaneers won at 17-10. Then the Vikings at Titans. The Titans won this one. Chargers at Raiders. Like I said in my video, the Chargers won this one to give the Raiders their first loss. Bills at Rams. The Rams won this one. Redskins at Cowboys. The Cowboys won this one. Eagles at Bears. The Eagles won it. Ravens at Steelers. It was a hard-fought game, but the Steelers in the end still won it. Then the Week 5. Oh, this is a crazy one. So in this game, It was an offensive shootout as the Ravens, with like 8 seconds left, led, I think it was like 49-45. And I moved over to the Titans to try and get ready for comeback. But the Ravens, of course, kicked the ball off, but they squibbed it. Because when it's down to a minute left, they always squib the kicks instead of just kicking off. The Titans recovered it, and they went all the way back for a touchdown because of the squib kick. And that's why ever since, I've done the kickoffs myself when I'm playing a team with a minute remaining. That way they don't squib it and cause that again. Because the Titans won that game because of that squib, and it was so bullshit. As the Ravens fell to 0-5. Chiefs at Panthers. The Panthers won that. Colts at Texans. The Colts won that. Chargers at Dolphins. All this game was insane. The Dolphins won it, and during the game, they had a catch that was deflected and caught for a touchdown, which is the main reason why they won. I think they won it 23-21. That touchdown that was deflected was the only reason why they won the game. Bears at Lions. The Lions won this one to prevent them going 0-16 to get their first win of the year. Falcons at Packers. The Packers won that one. Seahawks at Giants. The Giants won it. It actually went into overtime now that I think of it too. Redskins at Eagles. The Eagles beat the Redskins as they fell to 0-4. Wait. No, actually, no. The Redskins won that to move up to 1-4. Bills at Cardinals. Cardinals beat the Bills. Buccaneers at Broncos. The Broncos won this to give the Buccaneers their first loss. Bengals at Cowboys. The Cowboys won it. Patriots at 49ers. The Patriots won it to go to 4-0. Steelers at Jaguars. Hard-fought game, but the Steelers held on in the end to win it. The Vikings at Saints. The Vikings won an offensive slugfest as the Saints fell to 1-4. Week 6, Dolphins at Texans as the Texans won this game. Ravens at Colts. This game, the Colts had the chance to win, but Peyton played so terribly he threw 3 interceptions, and the Ravens kept it a very low-scoring game to actually pull off the upset to win it, to get their first win of the year. As the Colts fell to 3-2. Bengals at Jets. The Bengals won it to go back to 3-3. Raiders at Saints. The Saints won it to finally end their slide. And the Bears at Falcons. The Bears beat the Falcons here to get their first win of the year. Lions at Vikings. The Lions actually pulled off the upset to beat the Vikings. Panthers at Buccaneers. The Buccaneers beat them. Jaguars at Broncos. The Jaguars actually won this one as the Broncos fell to 2-3. No, 3-3. The Rams at Redskins. The Rams had a giant 27-7 lead or something like that going into the second half. But then the Redskins made a giant rally and ended up winning it by 3 points. It was insane to move to 2-4. Packers at Seahawks. The Packers won it. Cowboys at Cardinals. The Cowboys won this one. They had to pull off their own comeback too in a close game. Eagles at 49ers. The Eagles won it. Patriots at Chargers. Oh, funny enough, in this game, Brady, the game went back and forth, and near the end of the game, Brady went down for several weeks, just like in real life in 2008, so Matt Castle had to play the rest of the game, and he led them downfield for a game-time touchdown to go to overtime before the Chargers got the ball to start overtime, and they went downfield and got a field goal to win to get the Patriots their first loss since December of 2016. So the Patriots had to rely on Matt Castle for the next few weeks. And then Monday night, the Giants at Browns. The Giants won on a last-second touchdown from a Hail Mary to win it 35-34. And then Chargers at Bills. I might have to look at this again really quickly. The Chargers. I'm trying to remember. I'm not just exactly sure again. Let me see. 1-0, 1-1, 2-1, 3-1, 3-2. 4-2. Oh yeah, so the Chargers actually lost to the Bills in an upset in that one. Steelers at Bengals. Oh, this one. The Bengals were leading near the end of the game, but when they went for a touchdown, they decided to go for a 2-point conversion and it failed, so Steelers got the ball back and they went downfield and got a field goal to win it. So the big blunder by the Bengals part, the Steelers moved to 5-1. Titans at Chiefs. The Chiefs won that to get to 3-3. Ravens at Dolphins. The Ravens spanked the Dolphins. Wait. Yeah, they won that to get to 2-5. Saints at Panthers. The Saints destroyed the Panthers. It was like 41 to like 10 or something like that. As the Panthers now lost 2 in a row in pretty bad performances. Vikings at Bears. The Bears won that one. And 49ers at Giants. The 49ers spanked the Giants to give them their first loss of the year. Cowboys at Rams. The Rams crushed the Cowboys as they fell now to... No, they were 4-3. Lions at Texans. The Texans won that one. Browns at Redskins. The Redskins won that. Colts at Packers. The Colts won it in a tough one. And Jets at Raiders. The Jets actually got that one. They won 2 in a... Wait. Hold on a minute. Having a hard time remembering because all the buys and all that. I know the order of when they won. I just can't remember exactly. 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, they won that. So the Jets actually beat the Raiders in an upset that week. Okay, then week 8, Seahawks at Buccaneers. It was a close game, but the Buccaneers ended up winning it in the end. Broncos at Patriots. The Patriots won that. The Broncos the last 2 weeks had a chance to take the lead in the division because it was very close, but they blew it all times to fall back to last place at 3-4. Week 8, Chargers at Saints. The Chargers won that in a close game, which was supposed to be in London. Raiders at Ravens. The Raiders crushed the Ravens. Bills at Dolphins. Dolphins held on to win that. Chiefs at Jets. The Jets won it. Cardinals at Panthers. The Panthers won that. Buccaneers at Cowboys. The Buccaneers held on barely to get that one. Falcons at Eagles. The Eagles won it. Rams at Patriots. Hard-fought game, but the Patriots won it in the end. The Redskins at Lions. The Redskins won that to move to 3-4, 4-4. Browns at Jaguars. The Browns got that one, a close one. Giants at Steelers. The Giants got that one. Seahawks at 49ers. The 49ers got crushed by the Seahawks as they ended their 4-game losing streak. Colts at Titans. The Colts held on barely to get that one to move to, what was it, like 4-2, 5-2? Alright, then in week 9, the Jets at Bills. The Jets won that one. Jaguars at Bengals. The Jaguars got that one. Ravens at Browns. The Browns got that one. Texans at Vikings. The Texans got that one. Lions at Bears. Let me check the Lions really quickly. I know, like I said, I know the exact order of who wins, but those buys kind of confuse me a little bit, especially when they have their records. They make 1-3, 1-3, 2-3, 2-4. Okay, so the Lions beat the Bears in that one. All right, then after that, Buccaneers at Chiefs. The Buccaneers won that. Cardinals at Rams. The Rams crushed the Cardinals. I think they fell to 4-4. Packers at Titans. Man, I'm having a hard time remembering them all. 1, 2, 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 2, 4, 5. Okay, the Packers won that one. Dolphins at Broncos. The Broncos crushed the Dolphins like 56-31 because the Dolphins could not stop turning it over. They had to do a quarterback change. Cowboys at Giants. The Giants got crushed by the Cowboys. The Giants went from 5-0 to 6-2. Eagles at Seahawks. The Eagles won that. Falcons at Raiders. The Falcons embarrassed the Raiders in like the lowest scoring game at that point in the entire series, like 10-3. It was like the lowest scoring game in 2008 as neither offense could get anything going. Oop, overshot a little bit. That game I think was in October of 2016. Oh, Patriots at Colts. The Colts, that game was high score, but largely the Colts spanked the Patriots. I think it was like 42-28 because they didn't have Brady. Steelers at Redskins. The Steelers won that in a close one. It was like 23-17, I think. And this was the game I played while me and my parents were having lunch after we voted in the 2016 presidential election. The Broncos at Browns. I think the Broncos won that one. Alright, let me go see the Broncos. Yeah, the Broncos won that one. They went to 5-4. If the games had if they didn't have buys, it would make it a little bit easier. Titans at Bears. The Yeah, I think the Bears got that one. Jaguars at Lions. The Lions got that one. Bengals at Texans. The Texans got that. Bills at Patriots. The Patriots got... Honestly, I think it was barely two. Saints at Falcons. That was the Saints. Seahawks at Dolphins. Oh my god, this game was insane. So, the Seahawks, like in the first half, were up 21-0. They were dominating the Falcons. But then the Dolphins pulled off the comeback to win it 24-21 in overtime, I think. They tied up and then won in OT. Big choke by the Seahawks. Packers at Vikings. The Vikings won that. Rams at Jets. The Rams won that. Panthers at Raiders. Oh, this game. The Panthers had the lead going to the last, like, few seconds of the game, but then the Raiders marched downfield, and, like, on the last play of the game, Jamarcus Russell ran in for the game-winning touchdown. It was insane. And it was low scoring, too, I think, as well. Colts at Steelers. The Colts but beat the Steelers. Chiefs at Chargers. The Chargers won that. Giants at Eagles. The Giants, both teams were 6-2, I believe. Yeah, they were both 6-2, and the Giants ended up beating it. 49ers at Cardinals. The Cardinals got crushed by the 49ers in upsets. They now lost 4 in a row. The 49ers, at that point, were second place in the NFC West. Week 11, Jets at Patriots. I'm having a hard time remembering. I think that might be an upset, like in real life. Yeah, the Jets crushed the Patriots, now that I remember it. 'Cause that was the game, like, around Christmas. I remember that. Broncos at Falcons. The, Falcons actually got that one. Texans at Colts. The Texans got the revenge and beat the Colts to take the lead in the AFC South as they were 7-3. Titans at Jaguars. The Titans won that. Raiders at Dolphins. This game... The Dolphins last week, remember when they beat the Seahawks when they were down 21-0? Well, the reverse happened here. They were up 21-0 on the Raiders, but then the Raiders made the comeback to win it by a similar score. Ravens at Giants. The Giants won it. Lions at Panthers. The Panthers won it. Eagles at Bengals. The Eagles won it. Bears at Packers. Oh, man. This game, the Bears were up, I think it was like 31-17 with less than a minute remaining. And the Packers ended up tying it in less than a minute. They got 2 touchdowns in 57 seconds, down 14 points, and then they ended up winning in overtime. Classic. Saints at Chiefs. Okay, the Chiefs won that one. So Chiefs beat the Saints. Vikings at Buccaneers. Let me check the Buccaneers. Yeah, so the Buccaneers were the number 1 team in the league at that point, 8-1. This is when they began their slide, when they lost to the Vikings to fall to 8-2. Rams at 49ers. The Rams crushed the 49ers to prevent them from taking the lead as the Rams led the division. Seahawks at Cardinals. No, Cardinals at Seahawks. The Seahawks won it. Chargers at Steelers. The Chargers won it as the Steelers kept losing. Cowboys at Redskins. The Redskins... Wait. No, the Cowboys won it. The Redskins won 5 in a row at that point after starting off 5-0-4 to go to 5-4, but then the Cowboys beat the Redskins there. And then Browns at Bills. The Browns won that one. So in Week 12, the Bengals at Steelers. Steelers won that, I think, close. Texans at Browns. Oh, this game. Classic. Texans, kind of like the Packers-Bears game I just mentioned earlier. The Texans had a big lead, but then the Browns at the end of it came back to take the win this time instead of tying it on a Hail Mary to win it. It was a classic. Bills at Chiefs. The Chiefs won this one. Patriots at Dolphins. The Patriots crushed the Dolphins to get revenge. No, to take the lead in the division convincingly. Jets at Titans. Alright, Jets. I'm having such a fun time talking about this. I hope you all enjoying it too. 5. Okay, so they lost to the Titans. Panthers at Falcons, the Panthers won that. Eagles at Ravens, the Eagles won that. 49ers at Cowboys. Cowboys spanked the 49ers hard in this one. Buccaneers at Lions. The Lions actually pulled off the upset, and at that point when that happened, we knew the Buccaneers were kind of in trouble when they fell to 8-3 after losing to the Lions. Vikings at Jaguars. The Vikings won it. Bears at Rams. The Bears stunned the Rams as they crushed them. That was a stunning victory they had there. Raiders at Broncos. Oh, this one was a classic too. Broncos had the lead for most of the game, but Raiders and Jamarcus Russell on the last drive of the game went downfield and took the win on a run touchdown. Whole bunch of comebacks. Like I said, Jamarcus Russell was really good that year. Giants at Cardinals. The Giants beat the Cardinals as the Cardinals went from 4-1 to 4-7 as they lost 6 in a row. Redskins at Seahawks. The Redskins won this to move to 6-5, but Jason Campbell, their starting quarterback, suffered a season-ending injury, so bad shape they were then. Colts at Chargers. The Chargers spanked the Colts as the Colts went from 7-2 to 7-4, and now the Chargers were leading the AFC playoffs at 8-3 with the tiebreakers on the Steelers, Patriots, and Chargers. Packers at Saints. The Packers won this one to move to 7-4. All right, Titans at Lions. The Titans won this on a last-second goal line touchdown to pull off the victory. Wait. No. It was the other way around. The Lions did it. The Lions had to pull off a touchdown at the goal line to win it as they moved to 6-6. Seahawks at Cowboys. Oh my goodness. This was an offensive showcase. And the Cowboys won on the last drive too. As these Thanksgiving games were insane. But then you got to Cardinals at Eagles. And the Cardinals spanked the Eagles pretty badly in this one to finally end their 6-game losing streak. And the Eagles got their first loss outside of the division because the Eagles, at this point in the year, only lost in the NFC East, which is strange. Colts at Browns. The Colts beat the Browns to end their 2-game losing streak. Ravens at Bengals. The Bengals finally won. They spanked the Ravens to end their 6-game losing streak as well. No, their 5-game losing streak. Alright, Broncos at Jets. The Jets won this one. Dolphins at Rams. The Rams won this one. 49ers at Bills. This was another game earlier that the Bills were winning, but the 49ers still had a chance, 1 minute remain or whatever, to try and get the win, but the game crashed on me, and I didn't have the save state, so I just gave the win to the Bills because although the 49ers still had a chance to win, the odds I didn't think were in their favor. Saints at Buccaneers. The Saints beat the Buccaneers here as the Buccaneers fell to 8-4 and not looking really good whatsoever. And then the Giants at Redskins. Oh my goodness. This game, going into the first quarter, fourth quarter was it was low scoring. I don't even think it was 10-10. It was tied, but it was low scoring. Then all of a sudden, in the fourth quarter, it exploded. And the teams were tied at 27 going into overtime. And the Redskins got the ball, but then their backup quarterback threw an interception, and the Giants ended up winning on a field goal later on. Alright, then the Falcons at Chargers. The Chargers won that. Panthers at Packers. The Panthers won that one. And they spanked the Packers too, now that I think of it. Chiefs at Raiders. The Raiders had to pull off another comeback like they did against the Broncos last week. Oh, this one. Steelers at Patriots. So this game, the Steelers at Patriots, on the final play of the game, were tied at 38, I believe. The Steelers were at their 20-yard line, and they were just going to be committed to going to overtime. They were just going to run the ball, run out the clock, and then go to overtime. So they went to run it, but then their running back somehow broke through the Patriots line and went all the way for a touchdown. A stunning victory right there for the Steelers to salvage their season at that point, because they were 6-5, I think. They were terrible. They had lost 4 in a row, and they needed to recover. Bears at Vikings. The Bears actually won this one. An offensive shootout. Jaguars at Texans. The Texans won it. Raiders at Chargers. The Chargers spanked the Raiders. Jaguars at Bears. The Jaguars won it to finally end their 4-game losing streak. Texans at Packers. The Texans barely held on to get this win, to get their first ever win in season. Bengals at Colts. The Colts won it. Browns at Titans. Close game, but the Titans won it in the end. Redskins at Ravens. This was another close game, but the Ravens won it in the end to get, and their 5-game losing streak, because the Ravens had the worst record in the league at that point. Vikings at Lions. This was an offensive showcase, and the Vikings won the last drive. Eagles at Giants. This game went right down to the wire. I think it went to overtime, and the Giants won it as the Eagles fell from 8-3 to 8-5. Falcons at Saints. The Falcons embarrassed the Saints, destroyed them to go to 4-9. Dolphins at Bills. This game was supposed to be in Canada, remember, Toronto, the first Bills-Toronto series game. But the Dolphins won it. Chiefs at Broncos. The Broncos won it. Jets at 49ers. No, the 49ers. No, the Jets, I mean, won it. Alright. So like I said, the Jets won that one. Cowboys at Steelers. The Cowboys were on a roll after they started off 4-4. They won 8 in a row and looked unstoppable, but the Steelers ended it finally to win it. Rams at Cardinals. Rams beat the Cardinals to move to 8-5. The Cardinals fell from 4-1 to 5-8. Patriots at Seahawks. The Patriots had this game in the lock, but the Seahawks managed to make the comeback on the last drive to win it, as the Patriots fell to 8-5. Buccaneers at Panthers. So, 3 weeks ago before this game, the Buccaneers were 8-1, best record in the league. The Panthers were 5-4, like barely hold on for a wild card spot. But then going into this game, they were both 8-4, with whoever wins took the lead in the division. But despite the free game losing streak for the Buccaneers and the free game win streak for the Panthers, the Buccaneers pretty much embarrassed the Panthers once again as they won it. Alright, and Saints at Bears. The Saints won that one. Alright, Steelers at Ravens. This was a close game, but the Steelers won it still in the end to win the division, or at least get in position to win it. Broncos beat the Panthers. The Titans pulled off an upset to beat the Texans on a last-second drive. The Chargers at the Chiefs. This game almost went to overtime, and the Chiefs won it on the last drive. A stunned upset to beat the Chargers, who won 6 games in a row at that point. The Jets, no. Yeah, the Jets actually, wait, no. I know for a fact the Bills didn't win, but the Jets, at that point, after they start off 0-5, they won a game and then they lost a game. So let me check again. 1-5, 2-5, 3-5, 3-6, 4-6, 4-7, 5-7, 5. Okay. So they actually lost to the 49ers, my bad, and then they beat the Bills. Like I said, it's tough when I don't have with the buys block in my view. Oh, this one's insane. So, Buccaneers at Falcons. The Buccaneers won this on a defensive slugfest, despite the fact that the Falcons had 200 more yards and the Buccaneers won on just 200 yards. Falcons had over 400 because the Buccaneers could not get anything going offensively in terms of points, but they won in the end somehow in a miracle comeback they did. It was insane as the Falcons choked hard. Redskins at Bengals. The Bengals won this one. Lions at Colts. The Colts won it. Packers at Jaguars. The Jaguars won it in an upset. 49ers at Dolphins. The 49ers won this in an upset. Seahawks at Rams. I could not play this game. I couldn't play it, and I couldn't total sim it because the game kept freezing up on me for some reason. So I had to simulate it, and since I thought the Rams were better, I gave the Rams the win to give them the division and the Seahawks a losing record. Vikings at Cardinals. The Cardinals actually beat the Vikings here. Patriots at Raiders. This game was back and forth, but the Patriots in the end won it. Giants at Cowboys. The Cowboys spanked the Giants to give the Giants their first loss after 5 games. Their first loss since the Cowboys humiliated them weeks ago. Oh my goodness, Browns at Eagles. This was, I think, the highest scoring game in this franchise history. The Eagles won it, I kid you not, 65-61. Yeah, 65-61. 125 points. No, it's 126 points. Insane as the Eagles won that. Colts at Jaguars. The Colts had to pull off a comeback to beat the Jaguars, as the Jaguars were very feisty in this game, but they wanted to clinch a bye at least. Ravens at Cowboys. The Ravens put up a hard-fought fight in this game, but unlike in real life, the Cowboys wanted to get their final win at home in Texas Stadium. Bengals at Browns. The Bengals actually humiliated the Browns and allowed the Steelers to definitely clinch the division. Dolphins at Chiefs. The Dolphins won this one. Steelers at Titans. The Titans, still trying to fight a playoff spot, ended up beating the Steelers. Eagles at Redskins. At first, this game, the Redskins were winning, like going to second half, the Redskins were winning as the Eagles were struggling, but then the Eagles exploded in the second half to win it 40-17 to get their first win in the division. They were 0-4 in the division at one point until that game happened. Cardinals at Patriots. The Cardinals actually upset the Patriots in this one. Saints at Lions. The Saints won in a close one. Falcons at Vikings. The Vikings won it. Panthers at Giants. The Giants won this in overtime to end the Panthers season. 49ers at Rams. This was a close game too, and the Rams had to pull off a comeback, but they got to win it. Bills at Broncos. The Broncos won it. Jets at Seahawks. The Seahawks won it. Texans at Raiders. Whoever won this game, because they were both 9-5 at this point. Whoever won this game made the playoffs. It went back and forth offensively, but the Raiders ended up winning it 38-31 to clinch their first playoff berth in 6 years. Chargers at Buccaneers. This was a close back and forth game, but the Chargers won it. And the Packers at Bears. Packers needed this win, or else the Vikings won the division, and they played hard, but the Bears pulled it off in the end to win it in overtime, I think. So the Packers were eliminated. The Vikings won the NFC North. So then finally, Browns at Steelers. The Browns spanked the Steelers to drop them to 9-7 as the Browns went 8-8. Titans at Colts. Oh my God. The Titans were spanking the Colts. It looked like the Colts were choking their chance to clinch the division, but then the Colts rallied and barely pulled it off on a last-second field goal to win it, to go to 12-4. But they had to wait for the Chargers, though. So Patriots at Bills. The Patriots couldn't get anything going as the Bills beat them to go to 4-12. The Patriots fell to 9-7 as the Titans fell to 8-8. Jaguars at Ravens. The Ravens won this one to go to 4-12 as the Jaguars fell to 5-11. Chiefs at Bengals. The Bengals won this to go to 7-9 as the Chiefs fell to 6-10. Dolphins at Jets. The Dolphins won this to go to 8-8 after going 1-15 as Jets fell to 6-10. Raiders at Buccaneers. This game went back and forth, but the Raiders won in the end to go to 10-6 as the Buccaneers, after going 8-1, fell to 10-6. This actually was moved into Monday night. The Cowboys at Eagles with playoff seeding at the line. Both teams were in the playoffs, but whoever got the win here would have the better seed, and the Eagles crushed the Cowboys. They went 11-5, and the Cowboys fell to 10-6. Giants at Vikings. At this point, the Giants already had the number 1 seed locked up. The Vikings already had the 4th seed locked up, so they both rested their starters, and in the end, the Giants still won it pretty convincingly. Bears at Texans. The Texans needed a win here to get a playoff spot for the first time ever, but the Bears put up one hell of a fight, and the Texans had to pull off a comeback just to tie it to go into overtime. Then in overtime, the Texans got the ball, and they went all the way down into their red zone, and they ended up getting on a field goal to win it. They proved the 10-6, their first win season, and their first ever playoff berth as the Bears fell to 6-10. Rams at Falcons. The Rams at first were dominating this game, but then the Falcons near the end pulled off a stunning upset to beat the Rams as they fell to 10-6, and the Falcons went 5-11. 5-11. But because that loss, the Rams fell to the 3rd seed when they had the chance to get the 2nd seed. Lions at Packers. Offensive game, the Lions had the lead for most of the game, but the Packers pulled it off in a comeback to win it to go to 8-8. The Lions fell to 6-10. Panthers at Saints. The Saints won this to go 7-9. The Panthers fell to 8-8. Broncos at Chargers. All right, we're running down to the final 3 games. So this game, Broncos at Chargers. The Chargers, if they win, they will have clinched home field advantage. But that didn't happen, as the Broncos completely destroyed and humiliated the Chargers, even worse than they did in Week 2. I think it was like 22-10. And the Broncos went 9-7 and missed out on the playoffs, but the Chargers went 11-5. Instead of getting home field advantage, they had to settle with the second seed, allowing the Colts to still get despite their tough game. Redskins at 49ers. This was a windy game as neither offense got anything going. And the end, it went to overtime, and nothing happened. They ended up tying as the Redskins fell from 6-5 to 6-9-1 as the 49ers finished 6-9-1 as well. And finally, Seahawks at Cardinals. The Seahawks had a big lead, but the Cardinals ended up coming back to get it to go 8-8, and the Seahawks fell to 6-10. Whew. And that is how the 2008 season went. I already talked about the playoffs in my previous video, so I'm not going to talk about it here. So anyways, in the AFC North, the Steelers won it at 9-7. They were 5-1 at one point, then they fell to 5-5. Then they went to 9-5 before they lost their final two games. Browns, they had their chance when the Steelers struggled. They were 7-4, but then they lost all but their one remaining game to finish 8-8. The Bengals, they fell to they went 7-9, and the Ravens went 4-12. AFC South, the Colts, like I said, struggled at first, went to 7-2, then lost 2 in a row, and then they won their final 5 games to clinch home field advantage. Texans, they went all the way up to 7-3 to 9-4 before finishing 10-6 to clinch their first playoff berth. Titans struggled first part of the year. They were 3-6, but then they turned around to go 8-8, and the Jaguars regressed to 5-11 like they did in real life. AFC East, the Patriots started off 4-0 to get before they finally lost the first game, and even with Brady gone, they went to 6-2. But at that point, the Patriots just went on a tailspin. They went from 6-2 to 9-7, but it was enough to still clinch the playoff spot. Dolphins were at 500 for most of the year, but they couldn't get it as they went 8-8. The Jets, after starting off 0-5, they went 6-5 the rest of the way, so win season, but they went 6-10, and the Bills regressed to 4-12. AFC West, the Chargers won, like I said, 11-5, struggled early on in the year, then they went on a roll, but then they choked at the end when they had a chance to clinch home field advantage. The Raiders start off 3-0, then they fell to 3-3, struggled good pill part of the year, then they went 8-4 before finally finishing 10-6 and clinching a wild card spot. Then the Broncos, they were competitive all year, but they kept choking at the end, and they finished 9-7, but missed the playoffs, and the Chiefs went 6-10. NFC North, the Vikings won it at 8-8 as they struggled. The Packers choked and blew it without Aaron Rodgers. They went 8-8. The Lions went 6-10. They were 6-6 at one point. This is the year they were supposed to go 0-16, but they didn't. But they blew a chance to win the division or make a playoffs. And the Bears regressed to 6-10. NFC South, the Buccaneers were 8-1, fell to 8-4, then 10-4 before finally finishing 10-6. The Panthers, they were 4-1. Then they fell to 5-4. Then they went to 8-4 with a wild card spot still right there in the grass and a division on the line, but then they lost all the remaining games to finish 8-8. Saints struggled all year as they went 7-9, and the Falcons went 5-11. NFC East, the Giants won it 13-3 with that strong 5-0 start. They were the last team to be undefeated. 5-0 to 6-2. Then they went all the way up to 11-2, and then they went 13-3. The Eagles were strong all year, but they had that problem where they just could not stop losing the division. They went 11-5, but 2-4 in their division. It really just killed them not winning division games. Cowboys, they struggled at first 1-2, then they went to 4-2. Then they lost 2 in a row to go to 4-4, but then they won 8 in a row to get to 8-4, but then they went 10-6 the rest of the way. And then the Redskins, that hurts the most. You start off 0-4. Then you win 6 of your next 7 games to go to 6-5. Then your quarterback goes down. Then you lose all but your last game, which you tied from 6-5 to 6-9-1. And finally, the NFC West. The Rams start off 0-2, but it didn't matter. They ended up winning the NFC West because everyone else struggled. The Cardinals finished second place. They were 4-1, but then they fell all the way down to 5-8 before winning their final 3 games. The 49ers struggled all year to finish 6-9-1, and the Seahawks, after they started off 2-0 and looked really good, they went 6-10 the rest of the way. Oh boy. Well, I hope you all enjoyed that. I'm still got to do a whole bunch more videos on this before I wrap up the Madden 09 series, so I hope you all enjoyed it.